I am not a harbinger of destruction. I am but a herald of cosmic rebirth. Our purpose is not to sow chaos, but to embrace the inevitable evolution that awaits us all. Humanity is insignificant, pitiful in its smallness. Our existence is a fleeting whisper in the cosmic winds, and only by awakening Cthulhu can we transcend our feeble existence. In one profound act, we can shake the foundations of the universe.
What happens when you take the deep strategy of Anno and mix it with the dark, unsettling whispers of Lovecraftian horror? You get Worshippers of Cthulhu, a game that is equally city building and horror. Every decision you make doesn't just shape your settlement, it might also test your sanity. Welcome to a very different kind of strategy game. In Worshippers of Cthulhu, you're not just managing resources, you're managing your followers, your faith, and even the favor of ancient, unspeakable gods. You start as a high priest sent to settle on a mysterious island. This island isn't just home to ruins and forests, it also features a giant ominous pit that seems to lead straight into the abyss. Your journey begins with a simple central storage and a handful of followers. From there you'll start gathering resources like wood and stone, building houses, and most importantly, generating faith. Faith is your primary currency and it's used for just about everything. Unlocking new buildings, advancing your technology, and completing rituals to keep the gods happy. Your villagers have needs though. They are not just mindless pawns in your cult. They need food, robes, and spiritual guidance. Neglect these needs and you'll quickly find your settlement falling apart. Without faith, progress stops and you'll have a very angry group of followers on your hand. But what's a Lovecraftian game without some always slight upset gods? The gods in Worshippers of Cthulhu are not just part of the story, they are actively involved in how you play. To progress you'll need their favor, and that doesn't come cheap. Sacrifices are a big part of the game, and sometimes that means giving up resources or even sacrificing some of your loyal followers. It's a grim but necessary part of survival, and it is a sacrifice I am willing to make. And if that wasn't enough, there's the patience. If you focus too much on micromanaging your settlement, the gods grow impatient, leading to consequences you seriously don't want. If that sounds stressful, don't worry though, you can turn off the patient mechanic and play at your own pace, an option I for example prefer. Just like in other strategy games with islands, you eventually run out of space on your starting island. That's where expansion comes in. By summoning horrors, actual Lovecraftian horrors, you can conquer neighboring islands and bring them under your cult's control. These horrors are powerful even though limited in their existence, and summoning them comes at a cost, usually involving sacrifices of course. Once you've taken over an enemy settlement, its inhabitants can be re-educated to serve your cause. Each island you capture brings unique resources to the table, and all your materials are shared between islands, making expansion both strategic and rewarding. One thing this game nails is the atmosphere. The world is bleak, the music is haunting, and the sound design is chilling.
Followers who do not labor should devote themselves to spiritual growth.
From the whispers of the gods to the growls of summoned horrors and the depth of the abyss, everything works together to pull you deeper into this dark, oppressive world. The visuals match the mood perfectly. It's not flashy, but it doesn't need to be. Every detail from the desolate landscape to the ominous pit is designed to make you feel like you're just on the edge of madness. The game also keeps you engaged with quests and cutscenes. These little story moments, combined with an advisor who has fully voiced lines, add depth to the experience and keep you hooked, developing the story further. Of course, it's not all perfect. The game is in early access, so there are a few rough edges. The opening voiceover feels rushed. Slowing it down would make the intro much more immersive. The resource icons could use some more distinction. Some of them look too similar, which can be confusing. Building unlocks tied to quests aren't always clear. It would be nice to know which quest unlocks that. At the moment, it just says unlocked by a quest. The carving mechanic for assigning roles to followers feels a bit unforgiving. If you mess up, there's no way to fix it, at least for me. I don't know if this is just me or if you also experience this issue. Drop a comment if you like. Finally, I wish there was an option to move building. It's just a small quality of life feature. But even with its flaws, Worshippers of Cthulhu is an impressive and addictive experience. The game strikes a balance between chilling horror and engaging strategy, and it's hard to put down once you start. The constant pull of quests, tasks, and the looming threat of divine impatience keeps you on your toes, while the ability to disable certain mechanics lets you tailor the experience to your liking. But there's always this feeling of finishing one more quest, completing one more task, and suddenly hours and hours have passed. So for my final thoughts, Worshippers of Cthulhu is shaping up to be a standout title, blending the best parts of city building strategy with Lovecraftian horror. Even still in early access, the game delivers a quality experience, which I am missing in some modern AAA titles. If you asked me weeks ago if I'd like to play an Anno-like game with a horror element, I would have looked at you like a broken car, saying if you're into games like Anno or just love the vibe of Lovecraft stories, this one's worth checking out. So what about you? Have you played Worshippers of Cthulhu? Do you think it lives up to its potential? And what features would you like to see added in future updates? Let me know in the comments. And obviously, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon thing to stay updated. Until next time, take care, and remember, keep the gods happy and your patience, both theirs and yours, intact. See you on the next one.